Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Tuesday, November 28th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, we're holding at highs of the recent move. You can see after taking out the recent lows here, price pushed its way right back on through 25.95 and into 26.05. And so that's where we've been over the last couple of days. You can see down here on just a single day basis, just a one-day basis here, we are below 65% of ADR, which is a compressed state. And basically we've traded like that for the last 3 of the last 4 days, which is understandable with the Thanksgiving holiday. And we even have traded 4 of the last 7 here, very compressed. So things could increase in terms of volatility here pretty soon. One thing to watch out for is 25.95. I mentioned this yesterday. If there's any push below that level and a failure, that could be a jumping off point for a further continuation to the upside. The next upside target that we'll be looking for based off the low here so far on this move, we're looking for 26.21 as the next upside target with a shot at seeing 26.39 by the end of the month. So this could be a steady continuation right to this target zone here on a swing basis. All right, let's take a look at the NQ. NQ very similar here with uptrending behavior. The last couple of days very quiet here so far, at least today. You have 3 of the last 4 days very, very quiet. Obviously this is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so very tightly coiled price action for the most part. Now, one thing to keep in mind again is price remains bullish above 63.50. Any pullback to that zone could provide a solid bounce into and through 64.20. So we also have the trigger zone of the PIMAs down below here, and you also have the 61.92s here. So those are 3 different levels here where bulls will be looking to defend on any sign of rotation. And at the moment, 2-day lows, 3, 4-day lows all being very close, you could see a push down below those lows, and if you see rejection, that could be the early sign that this thing flows higher. And again, very similar to the ES here, based off the recent low, we could be looking at a push right into 64.90 and as high as 65.55. This target zone right here could still be ahead. So that's what we'll be looking for as we continue to move forward. Again, any pullback could be a buying opportunity. Taking a look at crude oil. This is case in point here. We had a solid, strong move up, a clear pullback, an extreme reversal pattern straight out of my book, Secrets of a Pivot Boss. And you see right here, this pullback right into 55, and the previous month's high, 54.85, was perfectly defended. You had 2 digestion days below 65% of ADR, and then you had the breakout day, the retest day, and the continuation right into 58 and as high as 59. And so we've already gotten most of the way there. I mentioned before that the first move will be to 58 with a shot at seeing 60. And so we've gotten to 59. This next pullback here could offer an opportunity to take this to the last target at 60. This pullback below the previous session's low is very important. The previous session's low being 57.55. If price fails to hold below that low, as it already is showing right now, that could be an early signal that this thing could be headed back higher. And again, the idea would be that this could flow higher towards 60 as a round number. But then we have our key levels here, 60.14 and 61.60. That's the target zone right there. We could be looking at a solid push right into that target zone. All right, lastly, let's take a look at gold futures here. With regards to gold, price is holding at highs right now. Nice little doji day so far, very small in terms of volume on the session. We still have that rounded off quality on the bottom. No clear upper rim or resistance level, but we continue to see new highs. Every pullback leads to new highs. So this thing is clearly flowing higher, finally getting away from 1280. But if there's any failure up here to see expansion beyond this 1300, we could see a quick pullback to value. And again, 5-day value would likely be first, but it would be a pullback all the way as low as VPOC. So there could be a significant move backward and still be defended for another rotation higher. It just depends on how price trades around 1300 here. Any clear significant rejection could bring price right back to composite VPOC, and then you'd see bulls defend again for another push higher. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And also, breaking this down into the intraday time frame, the key range that we have that we're watching is this recent pullback key range here. That's 1292.60 up to 1299, midpoint at 1295.80, and so far that's the little range here after the trending behavior to watch for rejections, and eventually once we see expansion, we could be looking at a move toward these targets. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.